And here we go again. Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Oh, I can see some people I haven't seen in a long, long while. Salpi, very, very nice to see you.
Here we go again.
Whoops.
Here we go.
And
good evening, everyone. Oh, I can see some people I haven't seen in a long, long while.
I make this mistake every time.
Salpi, very, very nice.
Okay, now, sorry. We are live on YouTube and and every week I do the same mistake. I go live on YouTube and I echo myself on YouTube, and but now I'm all with you. So yes, very, very nice to see you. Rania, nice to see you again. Tina, so schön dich zu sehen. We have people from Germany. We have people from Lebanon, I can see, right? Cynthia, from Lebanon. We have some people I don't know, and we have a lot of people also from the UAE. What a nice crowd today, and what an international crowd. And, you know, as I always say, how nice it is to have that international crowd, and how nice it is. Thank you, Zoom, for the opportunity to have that, because, and you know what I want to say, even almost, I want to say thank you, Corona, not because of Corona, but I want to really say that this has brought the world together a little bit more, at least my side of what I am doing. I'm very, very happy to have so many of you here today, new people, people I've known, and to have a very, very special guest today. But before I get to our guest of today, let me just introduce myself for the ones who don't know me yet. My name is Mona Abdelrahim Santl. I am the owner and founder of Mind Your Power. And Mind Your Power is a holistic consultancy. We are very proud to have just expanded, and we now have associates in the UAE, in Lebanon, in Germany, and in Qatar, working all together to bring some positivity, I would say, to the entire world. It's Your Life series has started on the 1st of April, and this was due to COVID, due to Corona. A lot of people were sitting at home. A lot of people were anxious, afraid, and just had so much time at night because they were at home. So we decided to do a series where we can bring tips and tools to people, getting them to do things that are something else than just worrying. So we had wonderful, wonderful sessions. And before we start here, I want to tell you, if you have missed them, then please make sure to go to my website and to revisit all these wonderful talks, because I am really, really honored to have had speakers from around the world, very good friends of mine from the United States, from Germany, from Lebanon, from Dubai, from the UK, fabulous therapists, healers, energy healers, yoga instructors, homeopaths, you know, people from around the world. So go to my website. It is mindyourpower.org. Go to It's Your Life, all speakers, and you can scroll through and really watch each and every replay. But enough of the replays, enough of, you know, what it is about. I guess now people have come in more. I am very, very happy and proud to announce today Evelyn Brey with us. Evelyn is originally from Austria. However, this talk will be in English because most of you are English speakers. Now, let me just to make sure I don't forget anything, let me just read what I have here, because there's so many things I don't want to forget. Evelyn is an alternative therapist. She's trained in many disciplines around body and mind issues. She has trained in the UK about 20 years ago. Now, her training was in osteopathy and naturopathy. She added bioresonance therapy, Dorn Therapy, brain gym, touch for health, rhythmic movement therapy, which are all branches of kinesiology to what she does. And then she also has very, very interesting rings that are called smovey rings that are a vibration-based exercise tool. Okay. Now, I have seen these smovey rings once when I met Evelyn. Really interesting. Today, though, she's going to talk about brain gym. So one part of kinesiology, and how to harmonize body and mind. So when we talk about gym, okay, that's enough for me reading. Now I'm back with you. So when we talk about gym, you know, most of you probably know gym. We go to the gym to exercise our body muscles, right? But what about our minds? Do we exercise that? Is there a gym for that? Let's find out today. Evelyn will talk a little bit about brain gym, and then you will have the opportunity to actually practice with her. And please feel free to put your questions in the chat box at any time, and we will pick them up just before the practice session and at the end of the session. If you are watching us live on YouTube, please put your comments on the YouTube box. I am multitasking again here on 2 computers, so I will be seeing your comments in the YouTube chat too. And without further ado, let's keep the time that we have now for Evelyn. And Evelyn, I'm so excited to have you here. So happy to have you here. Welcome, Evelyn.
Thank you so much, Mona. Thank you. That was a great introduction. I'm absolutely delighted to be here and have been invited to talk about brain gym. It seems, even though this wonderful modality has been around since the 60s, it is still very little known. I'd like to talk a little bit about myself first. So my name is Evelyn Brey. And as Mona said, I'm from Austria, but I studied osteopathy about 20 years ago in the UK. Then I came back to the United Arab Emirates, where I still am. And over the years, because osteopathy was very, very good for certain conditions, but somehow it never seemed enough, I added other things as well, as Mona mentioned, Dorn Therapy, Bioresonance, and so on. But what really grabbed my attention was kinesiology. It is a huge field, and I'm specializing in 3 of the fields: brain gym, touch for health, and rhythmic movement therapy. The reason I like it so much is because it makes you move, it makes you notice, and it puts responsibility and awareness on you. But not only that, it gives you power about yourself and how you can heal and help yourself and your family and your friends. These are very simple methods, and they have far-reaching effects simply because when you deal with the nervous system, it deals with movement, it deals with emotions, it deals with behavior, it lets you experience the world in a whole different way because it balances your senses. And of course, through the senses, we take in the world. We then need good muscles and good coordinations to be able to act on what we experience, on what we would like to do. And there has never been in our lifetime, a greater year to challenge this than this year, because we all need to, probably all of us need to rethink our life. Some of us might be a bit caught up in depression and too much stress, and don't quite know how to get out of it. I find that because of some of the alternative that Mona has so kindly provided the information for over the summertime is not so widely known, a lot of people seem to think there is no help available and they don't know where to start and how to get over a stressful situation. And it might take years of therapy, and it might need you to divulge intimate details and secrets about yourself. Many people don't want that, and really, it is not actually necessary, which is the good part. Now, we are connected, body and mind. In the last few years, a lot of our behavior, thinking, everything has just shifted to the mind and got stuck in the mind. We tend to forget the body. And I find with the lockdown this year, even more so. All we do is sit, and we forget what a precious resource we have. We have this tunnel vision. This is the screen, and this is our life. You know, we're not allowed to go outside. We're not allowed to do this. We're not allowed to do that. I must say, the first months around, that really hit me hard. So I was very happy when they said, "You may go to the beach again." You know, but stressful situations and exercise. It has been known for a long time that exercise helps you to get over stressful situations. And I'm not actually talking about the gym that Mona mentioned, where you need to go, oh, you know, and grunting and sweating, and it takes forever and so on before you see changes. In Brain Gym, we do exercises which are much, much simpler. Brain Gym is the main branch from Educational Kinesiology. So it has really mostly become known to help children with reading, writing, emotional problems, behavioral problems. By the time they display these problems, when they go to first grade, second grade, it is actually quite late already. We can, through these kinesiology courses and therapies, pick up on those things a lot easier if we know about the movement. Every baby develops through movement. There is no logical thinking. There is no fully functioning nervous system in place. The baby just lies there and cuckoo, and and it explores the senses, and it explores hands and feet, and it doesn't actually know where it ends and where the world starts. It is a learned process. So there's a lot to learn for the baby, and if all goes well, it follows a certain path, and all is okay. But because of the lack of movement that we have nowadays, starting with the babies, we now see children falling off their chairs while they sit in the classroom. I've never heard of that before. And now there are reports coming out. In a classroom of 30, there are 10 kids who regularly fall off the chair. I mean, can you imagine anything like that? And a lot of that could be fixed with proper movement. Just normal, basic movement, crawling on the floor, tumbling around, rolling, climbing, jumping, exploring the body, developing the senses. So the adult world has taken note of that, especially the women, of course. And so in the field of kinesiology, you find a lot of women purely out of necessity. And what am I going to do? How can I help my child? But I would like to also focus on the adults, because the nervous system changes all the time, depending what input we receive, what we see, what we hear, who we interact with, which news we read every day. I mean, I get one of our local newspapers here, and April and May, they might as well not have published, because it only had one headline: COVID, how many deaths, and what a tragedy it is. Now, if you read this for breakfast, how do you think you will feel for the rest of the day? Then together with all the other news and the lockdown, you're not being able to travel, not seeing your loved ones, and no touching. Touching is one of the fundamental needs that we have as human beings. When I now read about children being afraid to be hugged, to be held, or older people dying of loneliness because there is no interaction, I find that absolutely horrible. So Brain Gym helps with 26 movements to reintegrate your system after it has gone into some form of stress. And I would like to show a little short PowerPoint presentation. before we go into actually doing some exercises, so you can experience this for yourself and you can apply this for yourself, for your family, for your friends, anytime, anywhere. Okay. So, as I said, it has been shown that movement helps to get you out of stressful situations. But it doesn't have to be really strenuous. It can be quite easy. And once you balance your system, your nervous system, it can help you with the effects of stress, especially long-term stress, on the body, on the mood, and on your behavior. If your body is aching because of stress, and you have muscle tension and you have headaches and you don't feel well, you don't want to talk to anybody, it makes daily life around you very difficult, you don't want to do your online jobs or anything like that, it creates more tension and more stress. Okay, all these things you see here, from the medical point of view, you would see different experts for that. In the alternative field, because we address the digestive system, the nervous system, the hormonal system, we affect all these different conditions. So when you are exercising, you're on the treadmill, you're walking fast, you're getting your heart rate up, what they have found is that you're creating more neuronal connections in your body. Neuronal connections, or more of them, more networking between your nervous system, helps you to, on the one hand, get around a stressful connection, something where you are stuck and you don't know how to get out of it. So with movement, aerobic movement, you make new nerves, you make new connections. You work on this BDNF, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Very fancy name, but this one is there to stimulate the growth of new nerve cells, okay? Which is an absolutely amazing thing because it is still fairly new, even though in the medical world it is starting to sink in. After this was announced 20 years ago, generally from us, from the lay population, not everybody knows that. A lot of people seem to think, okay, I've grown up, I've done my studies, this is how I am, and I will stay like this for the rest of your life. You have that choice, but it is a choice. And the better choice we have nowadays is that you can change it. You are not stuck. And that is the absolute wonderful thing about us. You put in new different sensory inputs, the things you see, the things you hear, playing nice music, you know, spending time with friends, even if it is online, and it will help you to make new connections in the brain and find new ideas, find new solutions, and reduce your stress. So in comes brain gym, because that one is really very, very simple. You do not have to go to the gym. Dr. Paul Dennison and his wife Gail, they developed this system already in the 60s. Dr. Paul Dennison is very, very dyslexic. So his brain works differently on so many levels, it is difficult to describe. But he was also an educator. He worked very, very hard to fit into the system and then educate children. But he saw the problems. And he thought there must be a way on how to better teach these children. You know, it must be our fault. It is not the child's fault. We need to find a way to bring out the best in children. And so he found out that through movement, he can help these children. So Brain Gym is there to help with the physical skills of thinking. He was connected and he learned from many other therapists. So some of the movements from Brain Gym, they're not entirely new. They were taken from other modalities, from optometrists or from yoga. Some were a little bit adapted, and he just applied them and saw how it changed the children. And then he put them into 3 different categories. So what you see here is the very basic one, and he put them into 3, what he calls dimensions, because on this planet, with our body, we move in 3 dimensions. So the lower one is the focus dimension, and it refers to our brainstem and the very, very old brain, the reptilian brain. Then we have the middle part that helps particularly with the limbic system. Some of you, I don't know which disciplines you come from. The limbic system is for our emotions, and our emotions really drive us a lot, guide us a lot. Once we are fairly safe and secure, our emotions are the ones that say, this is what we are going to do. This is what I'm going to buy. This is the person I want to spend my time with. And this is the food I love, right? And then up here, you see the laterality dimension. And this is where the higher thinking occurs. In a stressful situation, this is the part that shuts down first. And you go down to the very basic one, the reptilian one, the brainstem, saying, oh my God, what happened? Am I safe? You know, do I dare to leave the house? Do I dare to do this? Or do I dare to do that? All right. Mixed in with the emotions, and the fear becomes big. And what we saw now during summer, it's certainly being exaggerated a little. So you don't get to the higher part of your brain where you say, okay, let me take a step back. Maybe this is not all bad. How can I take advantage of this? How can I make sense of this, right? Yes, it is difficult. Yes, it is a big change. How can I apply myself? Okay. Which I think is a beautiful way to approach a difficult situation. I really particularly like the Chinese system in that one, where they say a challenging or difficult situation is also an opportunity. And I spoke to a Chinese girl about that, and she says, yes, there's always yin and yang, the dark and the light. You just need to find it. You just need to understand and then bring it together, make the most of it. So the brain exercises help because we are moving in 3 dimensions. And these dimensions are not only on the physical, on the body part, as we see here, it's also in the brain, okay? So there is no disconnect between the brain and the body. When we go to the gym, yes, you have a good trainer, yes, you have some nice machines, and you do an all around, which would be preferable than what they seem to be doing now. Oh, let's exercise this group today and the other group tomorrow. The body works as a unit. You need to have all of them working together. And then it affects the levels in your brain as well. So here you see a brief summation. So this is the focus dimension, right? In Brain Gym, these are movements which deal with backwards and forwards. When we're in a stressful situation like what we're now, most of us, to begin with, there's this shock and we go backwards. We contract backwards. Some are able to say, okay, fine, I can deal with this, no problem, I go forward. Some of us are not. And we contract, and the whole musculature on the back of our body and our head contracts and it stays really tight. And as it continues and this stress goes on and on and on, it gets tighter and tighter, and it affects us, and it prevents us. It makes us more shy, and it makes us weigh every decision again and again. Should we really? And, you know, is it safe? Can we do this? Should we? You know, or do I now stay and wait? All right. So then we have the centering dimension. As I said, this is in the limbic system, where most of the emotional reactions happen. We have an absolutely wonderful exercise for that, which we will do after this one, after I've gone through the presentation. And then we have the laterality dimension. In that one, we have, it deals with the two hemispheres, okay? And a lot of the senses are affected by that because we have two eyes, we have two ears, we have two nostrils, and while the mouth is just one, it does have two lips, and the tongue has been formed from the two parts of the body. All right. So how we take things up, and then it goes into our higher centers, and we process it, we make sense of it, and then we act. This happens up here. Okay. So if you only hear with one side, or you only see with one side, and you see it with people, you know, when they run around like this, or they're like that, or they're like this, parts of the brain get a little bit neglected, and they might not get the full picture. Okay. So the other thing the brain gym is doing is bringing especially these senses in the laterality dimension together to work in what they call our midfield. Our midfield is this. This is where we mostly operate. We want to get all the information here, right? We want to see with both eyes. The way our eyes are shaped, we have a center in the front where everything is focused. This is where we read, this is where we write. If you start like this, or you start putting your paper like that, instead of having it straight, then you're not getting full vision. You have adapted. As an adult, you have adapted, okay? But what it also means is you're missing bits and pieces. And some of them could be really important. All right, so let's have some action, okay? Please stand up, because these three dimensions have movements attached to them. So what we do is we take a baseline movement and see how you're feeling overall, okay? So we start with the focus dimension, the basic one, safety and so on. And you stand with your feet flat on the floor, a little bit apart. You don't have to put them together completely. And you just simply go backwards and you go forwards and you go backwards. I turn sideways so you can see. So you go forwards and you go backwards.
Evelyn, can I just, just a tip for everybody. If you are seeing Evelyn just very, very small in the corner, you can swap the screen and you can have her in big and the slides in small. I hope that was clear for everybody. Because Evelyn, we're seeing you very small, okay? So you just go to the panel where you have your, the participants, and there is a small corner swap share.
What I'll do.
Or if you just want to put your presentation, stop sharing for a moment so that we can see you better, Evelyn, and then you can put it on again. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem. That's a very good tip. Okay. All right. Yes. So let's move. All right. Gentle movements. So move forward and move backwards. and notice how that feels. All right. Brain gym is all about noticing, because many of us have lost the awareness of our bodies and what the body is telling us. So we are trying to work it all out in the head, and we go round and round and round, and we don't know where to start and what's the best way, and. So in this way, we can use the body. Okay. So in my case, going forwards is really good. Going backwards, I fall over. All right. Now, the next one, limbic system, all the emotions. They also call it centering. What it does is it brings all your emotions together. So when you feel frazzled and you all over the place, this is the one to go to. Okay, for that one, we reach up. Can you reach? Can you reach up? Are you falling over? All right. Can you reach new heights? And can you go down?
Can't hear her properly, Mona.
Is it, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to hold the mic. Okay, so can you reach for new heights? Is it easy for you, you know? And can you go down? Can you rest? Can you give yourself a break? The life throughout has ups and downs. Can you deal with them? You know, can you enjoy the ups? Are you okay with the downs? Can you get up once you're down? All right. And now the one for the laterality. You gently sway from side to side. And just take note, which one was maybe the most difficult for you? And within the dimension, is it left? Is it right? All right, so this is the basic, this is your base indication of how you're feeling, all right? Now, I would like you to think of a stressful situation, something that is really, really bothering you. And don't make it a very big thing like, okay, this whole year 2020 is terrible and I wish it was over. No, make it very specific, something that really touches you, you know, something that has hit you. And have you all, do you have something in mind? Has everybody found the situation? Yeah. All right. Now let's do the same movement again and see how the body feels now when you're thinking about this situation. All right. So go forward and go back. Okay. Has anybody noticed any change?
I can go backwards better now.
Okay. So when you're thinking of your stressful situation, going back is easier for you. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's try the next dimension. Okay.
Evelyn, for me, it's the opposite. I cannot go backwards anymore.
All right. So you're ready to leave it behind and go forwards.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is a very general assumption, okay? So, all right, but let's test the next dimension for the same thing, for the same situation, all right? Because we want to have these 3 dimensions in balance to help you to bring out the best in you, right? Now, if you go up and reach and reach and reach and go down, can you still do that? Or do you feel heavier now? Is it more complicated? Has the movement become hesitant?
No, still
Become
the same.
easier going down.
All right. Okay. Anybody else who noticed something?
It's more difficult to come up.
Okay. So perhaps there is something weighing on your mind that is really pushing you down. And it's, okay. Now let's try the third level. Going left to right. Laterality. Left brain, right brain. Do you see the big picture? Do you have any creative ideas? Are you stuck in the small detail? How does that feel?
Feels all right. Feels okay.
I'm
Okay.
going faster.
Sorry?
I'm going faster now.
Yeah.
All right.
Me too.
In both directions?
Yeah.
Try and slow it down.
I shouldn't move my feet, right?
Yeah, the feet stay on the floor. Yeah. Are there any feelings anywhere coming up, anywhere in the body, in the chest, in the stomach, anywhere in the head? Any
No,
tensions in any muscles for anybody? Is anybody noticing anything?
Yeah, Evelyn, I have a pain in the neck here.
All right. So when you're going left to right and you're having your stressful situation in mind, then this pain comes on.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. So this is the first part of noticing, noticing what goes on in our body when we have a stressful situation on our mind. Yeah. So we are not waiting for the headache to occur or for the diarrhea or for the sleepless nights or anything. When we notice the symptoms in our body and we acknowledge them, we can pick it up much quicker. All right. So the next part we're going to do is an exercise called PACE. It's the basic exercise in brain gym that is done before every balance. And it stands for positive, active, clear, and energetic. All right. That's how we want to feel. All right. So there are movements for that. And we are actually starting with the last letter, which is energetic. And for that, we are drinking water. So please, if you have a glass of water ready, drink it now. And don't just gulp it down. Most of us are very dehydrated and the water is just going through because the cells are not really saturated. So drink it in small sips and just swirl it a little bit in the mouth before you drink it. Let me just get my bottle. Most of us are dehydrated. I'm sure you're all aware of that. But for the nervous system to function, it really needs a lot of fluid. We are, even as adults, we are 80% water, and especially the brain. So if you want to have any change in you, whether it's emotionally, behaviorally, anything, any learning, new things, supporting the kids, your nervous system needs to work. The first thing you need is breathing and water. All right. So pace, energetic, water. Next one is clarity. We want a clear mind to be able to go on. We want to prepare our mind for higher thinking, for new decisions, for a new outlook in life, for encouragement. All right. And Brain Gym has a very, very simple method for that. So we put one hand on our navel and we put the other hand below our collarbones. All right. So here are our collarbones, and just below it, beside the breastbone, most of us have a slight indentation. So you put the thumb on one side and you put two fingers on the other side. And then keep the hand on the navel. So you rub these points very lightly. Don't rub them too hard. They can be quite sore. Don't overdo it. And now move your eyes from side to side. You keep the head still and you move your eyes from side to side.
While still rubbing.
Yes.
Oh, that's difficult.
Okay.
I'm glad my camera's not working.
Okay. So even though these are very small movements, very gentle movements, but just by moving the eyes from side to side, you are actually starting to activate your brain halves. All right. This is the fantastic thing. I'm not sure whether some of you or all of you know that moving your right arm activates your left brain, and moving your left arm activates your right brain. And that's not only for the arms, but for all the muscles in the body. And the same goes for the eyes. And the eyes, of course, are all powerful. So they need to move together. And not one in this direction and one being stuck and one coming in later and one going up. Okay. Now change hands. We change hands because of this very activation, nervous system crossing in the body. All right. And again, move your eyes, smile, and blink. Don't stare. All right. When we are stressed, we stare. The eyes get very tired with that. Chachina, you're having fun here.
Well, I just find doing all three a little difficult at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so
We have
that's
to
for
blink. We are looking left and right. We blink.
yes. You don't have to like continuously blink. What I mean is don't stare. Yeah.
Okay.
When you're moving the eyes, and move them slowly. Slowly. Don't move the head. Only move the eyes. Yes, very good. Yes, much better. The more specific some of the movements are, the more direct effect they have. Okay. Now we go on to the next one, which is A for active. So with this very simple eye movements, we have woken up the brain. We now do a little more. We're doing what's called the cross crawl. So right arm to the left knee. And down and the other way around. And if you're very well balanced, then just bring the shoulder a little closer to the knee and keeping the head forward. And do the movements slowly. So don't work with momentum, work with real control. So you actually have to stand on one leg and you challenge your vestibular system a little bit as well, because everything goes through the vestibular system. And if this is really easy for you, then take it to the back. So take it to the back, left hand, right leg. Right hand, left leg. And now to the front. So 2 to the front, 2 to the back. All right, that's the cross crawl. Now we come to positivity, positive thinking. We cross one leg over the other. I don't know, can you see? one leg over the other. Okay. Then straighten out your hands and bring the outside of your hands together. And then take one arm across and bring it up to your chest. Yes. And just hold. If you're well balanced, you can close your eyes and also touch the tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. And just center yourself. This movement is called the hookup, and it comes in two parts, and it is the most wonderful movement. If you need a very fast quieting down because there's too much going on, you have been very upset throughout the day, you don't have to do the whole sequence. Just doing this one will really help you to collect yourself and calm yourself, right? Any thoughts that come, even if they're happy, just let them go. Just let them pass. Don't dwell on any thoughts, right? This is just physically reconnecting your brain so that your left and your right sides work together again, your lower center, middle center, higher center. Okay. Now change over, cross the other leg, and again, change the arms. We all tend to have preferred arms and legs, so we want to challenge the side which is a little underused as well, and bring it into the whole action. Listen to yourself, calm yourself, feel your heartbeat. Notice whether you're balanced or you're falling over in any direction.
I'm feeling dizzy.
Okay. Then open your eyes. You need your eyes to stabilize you.
Okay.
All right. So this is position 1 from the hookups. As I said, it comes in 2 positions. So now we put the feet beside each other. Then we take the left brain half in your left hand, right brain half in the right one, and we bring them together. What we want is the best function of our complete brain. We don't just want to think with a part of our brain or half of our brain, right? New thoughts are required to get out of a stressful situation, or as it is now, to reinvent yourself, find a new purpose in life. Learn to trust yourself. Know that you have the knowledge in you, okay? You just need to learn to listen to yourself. Right. So these are the pace exercises. Now, these are always these 4, but because we are so much on the computer nowadays and so on, and like me, I mean, none of you have it, but like me, I also have headphones. So I show you an additional one for 2 reasons. Because we have headphones, we listen so much, and we're not used so much because most of our information nowadays comes in through the eyes. But I show you a very nice exercise for the ears, because the eyes and the ears work together. Right. So how am I going to do this? All right, I will tell you first. So you take the ears and you take the earlobes. You start at the beginning, and you feel how they're all curled in, right? So you start at the top and you unfurl them very gently, very slowly. Pull the ears up and back a little bit to open the ear canals. Okay. So do that a couple of times. From the Chinese medicine, we know that the whole body is represented in the ears. So when you treat your ears nice and gently and massage them, you are actually giving a relaxing effect to your whole body. You know, you're telling it, I love you. I really look after you. Okay, now let's try the movements again. Still think of your stressful situation, and let's go through the movements and let's check. So going forward, going backwards. How is that now?
Easier.
I can't go backwards anymore.
Okay.
I can't go back.
Okay. All right. And the next one, up and down.
Harder to go up.
All right. Might just need the exercise a little bit more often. And down.
Oh.
All right. And side to side. Is it easier? Does it go further? Is it equal? Is it smoother?
Side to side.
Smoother.
Smooth.
Sorry, who was that?
Side to side, smoother.
All right. Okay, so how are the other ladies feeling? Have they noticed anything?
It was easier to
All
go
right.
down, much easier, and to come back up.
Okay, wonderful. How do you feel? So when you now think about the stressful situation that you had in mind, how do you feel?
Gone.
Gone, yeah, gone.
I do wish it would happen like this, and for some things it actually does happen like that, but I'm also very happy when people say I'm ready to tackle it. You know, it is not as frightening or as scary. So I'd be interested to hear from the other ladies. Have you noticed any difference in anything before and after we did the exercise?
Dina, I think you're talking, but you're muted.
Yes, I just put off the mute.
Sorry.
I'm feeling easier, lighter.
All right.
My pain has subsided a bit, but it's still there.
Yes. So what we did is, this is a general exercise which you can use for absolutely everything. All right. Now, when you come for a kinesiology balance, a proper balance, what they have is a 5-step process. So we are working on the goal, what it is that you would like to change. And then we even pace the goal to see whether that is positive, active, clear, energetic. And then we do some exercises for that. Brain Gym has 26 exercises, and reevaluate you afterwards. Now, depending on the problem, especially if it's very big, sometimes it needs to be broken down into smaller ones, and you might also need to do some homework. You know, to what I mean is repeat the exercises and so on. So this was just a brief introduction, but it is a very easy and simple way to do. That is what I wanted to show, that you don't need to delve deeply into every problem and explain it to another person. You can also use it for yourself, because you yourself know yourself best. You just need to admit certain things to yourself and then just follow that process. Now, I'm a Brain Gym instructor, So I run courses for Brain Gym 101, and what they newly have done now is Brain Gym 104. And in that, you would learn all the movements and all the steps in more detail, how to use this for you and your family.
That was so wonderful, Evelyn. And you know, the really nice thing about it is that it is so simple. You know, like you said, it is so easy and everybody can use it. It is really, every child can use it. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Sorry?
You're welcome. I'm glad you liked it, you know.
I think everybody did. It was a fabulous group here from what I saw. Now a question, and please all of you feel free to either type your questions into the chat box or just ask them live. But a question from me. Now, how often do you actually recommend, is this something you recommend doing on a daily basis, several times a day, or just weekly? What shall we do with that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because, you know, yes, I am a therapist and I know all the benefits from all these things. And of course, I'm also only human. So I know the theory and I don't always apply it either. But as you mentioned, you know, there is a little bit of a silver lining in this COVID experience that we're going through. And one of them was that I was able to do so many courses online. And through that, I used the exercises much more often on a regular basis. And I found such a difference. I myself was really surprised because I did not make them specific. I just did them for the experience of it. And they made me feel very, very balanced and very clear in the head. And to the point that I think, yes, I will do this. Maybe not on a daily basis, not all of them, but 2 or 3, you know, every second day or so on. Yes, they are very helpful. They take a lot of tension out and they just keep you more level-headed, more clear, and better able to deal with stress and fear.
Yeah. So for any one of us, do you just recommend doing it as often as we can? Every time something comes up, an emotion or a fearful situation, just do that and balance yourself out?
Certainly. Even if you have an upsetting phone call, you know, yeah, a loved one stuck overseas, you can't travel, you know, things like this. It's upsetting to us. So yes, use the exercises. Maybe you don't have time to do all of them, but certainly start with drinking water. And then if it's an emotional upset, do the hookups, the one we did last, where you reconnect absolutely everything. I find that so calming, you know. Or also people who are now starting to work again, have to take care of the kids at home and everything. And a bit is here and a bit is there and so on. So you want all your parts together, right? So I find it really very helpful for that.
Evelyn, how long we have, if I'm doing the hookup, for how long do I stay still with the same position?
That is entirely up to you. If you only have a little bit of time because you're rushing off to something else, then obviously, okay, let's say a minute would be quite good because it takes you time to focus on it, settle on it, you know, get calm. But if you have time longer, then do it longer. There is no limit to it, you know. You can lie on the couch and you listen to some music or anything else, and you just do this lying down and you do the hookup, and that's it. Yeah. So if you want to do this 10 minutes or half an hour, it's fine. There is no contraindication to that. You will not have any negative effect.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay.
Any more questions, ladies? I think we only have ladies on the group. Any more questions?
No.
I do have another question for you, Evelyn, if nobody else has one. you know, when we went up and down and back and forth, etc., you always had a little bit of a comment. Can you just tell us a little bit more? What does it mean if I cannot go backward or forward or left or right or up or down? Is there any, like you said, for example, coming up, you said maybe something is weighing on your shoulders. So what is the equivalent thought or process if someone cannot go down, for example? Or is there something?
Cannot go back as well.
Ideally, because we move in 3 dimensions, you would like to have these movements in balance. So we have a static balance. This is mostly, you know, what I see with people who come to me for osteopathy. But kinesiology deals with the dynamic balance. So you want to be able to freely move backwards and forwards and this and that and everything without falling over, without having to hang on, without gripping, without worrying, without, you know, twisting an ankle or anything like that. So going backwards can be a preventative action. You're stepping into the street and there's a car coming coming in front of you and nearly mowing you down. You want to be able to go back, all right? But you don't want to be stuck in that position. You then want to get out of that again and go forward again, right? So this one is a more physical example, but with the emotional stress, I find it is an indication, a nice indication when we do these movements to let us know that we are stuck, because the emotions don't tell us that. We know we are hurt and we know we are upset and we are angry, but we don't know exactly how it has affected us, right? So stepping back also, we needed to see the big picture. If you're always only going forward, 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 and you see it in some people, they walk like that, you know, they get bogged down in the detail, maybe, yeah. This is a rough guidance. This is not the last word on it. So you also need to be able to step back to see the big picture and what is happening now, all right? Same thing when you're always down. Yeah, it's nice down here. It's a certain view. You're used to that. But don't you want to go up and reach for the stars? Yeah. But if you have too much on your shoulders, it literally weighs you down. I remember I had a time when I couldn't go down. I had this bizarre feeling of having this ball of air in front of me and it would not let me go down. So it takes flexibility away from you, and especially in the emotional realm. So you're always up in arms, essentially. You cannot just deflate yourself and go down. Take a breather. Yeah. And with the left and right, most people say we have one creative side, one logic side. Let's stick to that for explanation purposes at the moment, to make it simple. But if you constantly are easier moving into one side, you will think that way. So if you are on the logical side all the time, you will act that way. You need things explained in a certain way. And at times that is good, that is helpful. Other times it is not. And especially now, when you are cutting out your creative side and the boss is asking you for new ideas, how to keep the company going, how will you contribute? The logical side will probably not give you the answer. First, you need inspiration, you need ideas, you need creativities, you need to contribute to a round table talk where everybody is throwing it out. You know, if you're only on the left side, you might get left behind. There's also more fun on the creative side than on the logic side. So this is just talking from the nervous system, from the thinking. There could, of course, be physical problems as well, which might need to be addressed. And once they are addressed, then they can help change your emotions, your behavior also. But again, if you continuously have injuries on the same side of the brain, on the same side of your body, that tells you something, all right? And it will affect the opposite side of your brain. So
Are you
there are
not
a lot
hearing? Sorry, are you not hearing, Dina?
Yeah, I could not hear in between.
Is everybody hearing? Okay, I guess if go ahead, Evelyn. Sorry.
Yeah. So that is just a very big picture. But and there needs to be a fluid movement, as I said, between up and down and so on. Because if you are constantly stuck in your down movement or in the focus dimension, the lower dimension in the brain, all you're looking out for is survival. Am I safe? And I'm sure a lot of people, are going through this at the moment. So to elevate them just with simple movements like this, doing those on a daily basis, or actually going to a therapist and see a kinesiologist and work through their problems, I think that will be massively helpful for time to come. I just saw that Petra said she's going to use this at school.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I just wanted to ask you, when you do this side movement, or for all the movements, is it better to take off the shoes, being barefoot, or in socks, or so take off the shoes that you really grounded, or?
Yes. If it is possible, if this is a safe surface, it is clean and children are not going to get hurt or anything like that, or it's not too cold or too hot or too dirty or anything, yes, it would be better. We have so many senses and sensory input from the feet that we really would like to be barefoot more often.
Yeah.
And it also it helps with showing the imbalances better. Yeah, because sometimes the shoes compensate, and you really want to know what's going on in this person, not what's going on in their shoes.
Yeah, definitely. And you keep both feet on the ground when you do the side movements, because when I did it, I lifted one leg and I thought, and then you said keep both feet on the ground, and that was far more difficult.
The sole could just lift a little bit on the sides, but you don't actually lift the whole leg or the whole foot. The foot is on the floor. Yeah, as I said, it's because of the feedback. Yeah, the nervous system is from the head down to the toe, right? And very few people think about the feet to begin with. But good grounding is important. Again, it tells you I'm safe. This is strong. It carries me. Yeah. And it gives this information back to your body. With the children, I mean, how old are the children you're going to see?
6 to 7 years of age.
Yeah, if you have a safe environment and a clean environment, they should also then go down on all fours and just walk on all fours. Feel the body more and get feedback from the ground.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If you want to know more about it, you're most welcome to contact me later.
I am actually sharing right now just the information of Evelyn right here. If you would like to contact her, please do so. If you are on my mailing list, you will receive the email tomorrow with the link to the replay, the link to the YouTube that was live today anyway. And you will have the contact information of Evelyn on there. If you are in the UAE, you can contact her directly on the phone. And as Evelyn said, she also has courses, regular courses that she delivers, I think on Zoom or only live, Evelyn?
No, I can do both. I do have some people now who want live because they're so fed up on being on Zoom, but I will do both on Zoom and live. Yes.
And since we also have a couple of people here from Germany, I'm sure that will also can be done in German, Evelyn.
Yes, it can. Aber natürlich, gerne, mit Vergnügen.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions, ladies? Any more questions before we wrap up today?
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know why I feel dizzy and sleepy after this exam. I keep yawning. I can't stop yawning.
Okay. Even though I'm very glad you're noticing that, and thank you for letting us know about this. These exercises look so simple, but they really, really, really work the nervous system. And especially the yawning is an indication that there is a shift, that there is a reorganization going on. The dizziness could possibly be because you're wearing glasses. And so moving the eyes in unfamiliar ways, that simply makes you dizzy. It just takes a little bit of getting used to, but it will go away.
Okay. So yeah. I'm normal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Great questions. Any more questions? Anyone with other great questions? This is your chance. Evelyn is here with us right now.
Evelyn, I just wanted to check with you the moment of going down, going up and then going down. The down part is really very difficult. So over a period of practice, that will help me to go down?
It depends. I don't know whether you have any physical problems, maybe in the knees or something. So over time, generally, yes, things tend to get better with movement, just generally speaking. If the knees are too painful or any of the other joints, just go down as far as it is comfortable. Don't push it. Yeah. But if you continue to do this regularly, you will probably find that you can go down more and more and it becomes easier.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I guess this is the time to say goodbye. We went a little bit over time. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Evelyn, so much. That was a fabulous, fabulous talk. I think everybody was fascinated by the ease of doing these exercises and also the results that were so fast. We could see it just after one round of swaying and doing simple things, we could feel a difference. And a shift in us. So absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much. I want to thank everyone else for being on the call again. People from everywhere in the world. This has been fabulous. This series has been great. Again, for the ones who joined us late and for the ones who don't know me, my name is Mona Abdelrahim Santel, the owner and founder of Mind Your Power. And I just want to say one thing here for Mind Your Power, just because I'm so excited. And as I said earlier, we have now expanded a little bit, and we have now associates not only in Germany and Lebanon and the UAE, but we also added Qatar to it. And we have a really, really great announcement. And we did announce it last week on the It's Your Life series, but I am so proud of it that I'm going to share it with all of you too. So if you are in the UAE, we are hosting our very first own retreat end of November in the beautiful place of Ras Al Khaimah. In a very, very nice and cozy hotel. We have a fabulous program. If you would like to know more, just send me an email and I will send you the program. The email address is Mona, M-O-N-A, at mindyourpower.org. M-O-N-A at mindyourpower in one word.org. I will gladly send you some information. If you know anyone who would be interested, please send it. It's a weekend retreat. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the message that we're sending here is many people, when they think of retreat, they think of you know, India, Bali, somewhere going far away. We think of, we have to travel there. We think of simplicity. We think of, we need to, you know, not have any certain foods, maybe vegetarian, certainly no alcohol, etc. What we want to show you in this retreat is it will be a little bit different. We want to show you that wherever you are in the world, whatever beliefs you have, whatever you eat or drink or not eat or not drink, whether you dance or sleep on the floor or sleep luxuriously in a wonderful hotel, wherever you are, you can find that balance and that peace inside of you. So that retreat will have a lot of games, will have fun, will have dance, but also will have meditation, will have a lot of hypnotherapy and breathing, release exercises, and much, much more. So please, if you're interested, I will send you the information. And now, yes, Cynthia, the retreat and our team in Lebanon, we are working on it. And the next, we're doing 2 in the UAE, and then the next one will be in Lebanon. Yes, Cynthia, definitely. So just if you're not on my email list and you wish to be, just please send me an email, mona@mindyourpower.org, and you will regularly get the emails with everything. So back to Evelyn now. I had shared this and I will share it one more time for you, just for the ones who do want to just take her number, write it down, or contact me if you didn't write it down by now. You can contact her, get more information about kinesiology, brain gym, touch for health, so many other things. And also, of course, work with her personally. Once again, thank you to all. Thank you so, so much, Evelyn, for being with us here. And I wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful night. Hope to see all of you next Tuesday on It's Your Life again. Big kiss mwah, to everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, everybody. It was my great pleasure. Thanks for having me, Mona.
Thank you.
And I hope you all benefited from it and keep trying it. Okay?
We did.
I just put my WhatsApp number in the end. Please feel free to get in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you also for all the comments. You know, we have great comments here. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't read the list of thank yous coming in here. So really a very, very, very warm thank you from everyone. I'm still reading down that list, Evelyn.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.